All right, it is time. This infinite investment game, I'll talk about alternative investments and collectibles. This is not particular investment advice, but hopefully you can become a better collector. And if you're putting money in this, you make smarter decisions. So today I want to talk about the top vintage quarterbacks. This isn't particularly as accurate to vintage. I'm gonna do from about 1997 and earlier. And so that's going to leave out some other guys like Tom Brady, guys who've been drafted later than that, because Tom Brady's drafted in 2000, Peyton Manning was 1998. I'll do another video on that. And before I go on, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with as many people as possible. And I'm going to start off. I've done some videos on Joe Namath. I am a favorite just because he played for the University of Alabama Crimson Tide, and actually he worked with my dad at a certain point at a news station in Alabama. So it's 1965 Topps, Joe Namath, number 122, and you know, he passed for 27,663 yards and 173 touchdowns in his career. He won an MVP. And he defeated the Colts in the Super Bowl. I believe it was in 1968 he won the Super Bowl. The cards that are worth looking at, that are actually valuable, is PSA 5, which is that has sold for around $4,475. PSA 6, $6,750. 7, $14,400. I think that is like the safer investment grade. It doesn't mean it's not going to go down, but you know, as you go up, it's like a lot less people that have that kind of card. You know, 7.5 is a nice 19,200. I haven't seen too many 7.5s in the market. 8, $52,900. 8.5, $198,000, and a 9 is $264,000. Pop counts, you know, PSA 9, there's only 5. That's why, you know, selling for around $200,000. You know, you have pop count for PSA 8, 78 of them. That's why they typically sell. Looks like the most recent one was $34,000. So that's good news. Where in the past, PSA is sold 52. Now it's selling for $34,000. And then PSA 7 was around 14 to 17,000. PSA 6, I mean, you could still get a PSA 4 for 3,000 if you're a collector. So, and obviously as you go down, the authentics are around $700. Yeah, the most recent one was a Heritage with a $34,000 one. And there's two. There's like the butterfly with the print mark on the left hand. Technically, that's more rare. Next is 1957 Topps Johnny Unitas. Johnny Unitas is the card number is 138. He threw for 40,239 yards in his career, 290 touchdowns. He was really before his time. Yeah, I mean, he had a 47 game streak with at least one touchdown. And he has some pretty nice numbers. His cards, for whatever reason, sell more for less than Joe Namath, but I'm a bit confused about that. Maybe because Joe Namath is more of the Jets, and you know, Johnny Unitas is more Colts. Who knows? But PSA 9 is $82,500. The cheapest one is PSA 5 is about $800. I mean, if you wanted to invest, we're looking at a 7.5. I think is the investable kind of grade for his card. And the higher the better in a sense. Here's the thing. Pop count for PSA 9 is 8, very low. That's why it's, you know, $82,000. Only 8 of them that exist. PSA 8 is 190, and PSA 7 is around 6,300. Yeah, That's the most recent one. I think that's too much. They normally sell for around $3,000 for a PSA 7. And yeah, there's 883, which is the largest pop count for PSA 6. So if you can afford a PSA 7, that's the best. But I mean, obviously, if you want, get whatever grade that you want. Yeah, a recent PSA 5 sold for $676. And those could go down more. Next is 1981 Topps Joe Montana. Obviously, he was the GOAT of the past, and kind of really made being a quarterback much more popular. He threw 40,551 yards for his career, 273 touchdowns, and had a quarterback rate of 92.38 Pro Bowl selections, and entered the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the year 2000. This card is very easy to find, but it's difficult to find in higher grades. 1981 Topps, Joe Montana, 216, PSA 10. The reason why I say this is the investment, real investment grade. You know, I can say 9 is technically kind of an investment grade, but really the one you want is a PSA 10. You could look for a BGS 9.5 too. Perfectly reasonable to look for a BGS 9.5. I just don't have the data on that right now, but I can make another video that looks at BGS and SGC and how they play a role. For PSA 10 is 108 of them. There's almost 2,000, 1,981. And honestly, I think eventually there will be 2,000 in a pot report for Joe Montana, eventually. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of cards out there that, you know, didn't sell and that weren't sent in for grading. And then PSA 8, this is a collection at this point because there's almost 8,000, and eventually those are gonna be 8,000, I think. So yeah, if you're buying a PSA 8, even $300, I think the price is gonna go down. The last one that sold was a PSA 6 and then PSA 8. PSA 8 sell all the time. You can get that anytime you want. Next, 1989 Score Troy Aikman, 270, PSA 9. This is right before the junk wax era, but there's a lot of these. Troy Aikman is known for playing for the Dallas Cowboys and leading them to the Super Bowl with, you know, Emmitt Smith and I think Michael Irving, and their team was just stacked. That's why they won so many Super Bowls. Threw for 32,942 yards and 61% for completion, 165 touchdowns, 141 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 81.6. More so, he was just on the right team. He was a good quarterback, but he wasn't like the best of the best. This PSA 10 is $550. I think that's great to have for a collection. You get a nice little PSA 10. There's 1,508 as of right now for his PSA 10. I would assume BGS and SGC and CSG don't have those numbers per se. Also, auction price realized, I mean, literally you can get a PSA 7 for $18. You can get a PSA 9 for $61. Next one, no one talks about this card ever, but I think it's an excellent vintage card. 1957 Topps Bart Starr. So he was the original Packers quarterback. Before the Brett Favre, before Aaron Rodgers, he was the guy, and he was the start of the dynasty. So if you're a huge Packers fan, I think it would look nice with Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and Bart Starr. So yeah, it's number 119. He threw for 24,000 yards. They won like 6 division championships with him. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, which is always a plus. And he was in the Hall of Fame in 1977. He threw his PSA 9, sold for $288,000, then $30,000 for 8.5, and then $12,000 for PSA 8. So it looks like the PSA 8 is the investment grade, but I think it's nice holding a PSA 5, which is $1,350. I mean, you could probably get a PSA 4 for a nice price. The pot reports, the reason why the PSA 9 is so high, because there's only three cards. They rarely come up. And, you know, a lot of people fighting for history. So, and then PSA 8, same thing. The reason why they're around $17,000, there's only 94 of them. So PSA 7, there's 323. PSA 6 was the highest, number 448. And these prices can still come down because a PSA 5 sold for 1,000, which is the average. And if you like, you can get an authentic, or PSA 1 for 352. Next is, I actually own a card, but I think I had a PSA 7 or 8. I'm looking for a 9. 1972 Topps Roger Staubach. Excellent player. He won the Heisman Trophy 1963. And then when he graduated, he got to the Dallas Cowboys, which is really interesting. He went to the Navy before he started his career. In 1972 Topps Roger Staubach, number 200. Threw for 270 yards, 153 touchdowns. Dallas Cowboys, part of, you know, NFC championships, and then 4 Super Bowls. Went to 4 and won 2. Yeah, $25,000 for his PSA 10. That's a lot of money. I would say the investment grade is an 8. Because that's 2,000. PSA 7 is a 450, so there's a large gap there. And then PSA 9, 11,500. The PSA 10, surprisingly, is only 2, pop 2. PSA 9 is 50. PSA 8 is actually 2,100. Or, you know, sells for about $2,000. PSA 7 should be about 450, but, you know. And these are all-time greats. They're Super Bowl winning. The next one is Frank Tarkenton. He's the guy who just never was good enough, to be honest with you. 9-time Pro Bowler. He was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1986. He finished with 47,000 passing yards, which is a lot. 342 touchdowns. And were all records at the time of his retirement. So, yeah, he played for the Minnesota Vikings, though. Yeah, you know, his cards aren't as expensive, but I think they're nice for a collection. The investment grade per se for this guy, maybe actually be a PSA 7 because you see a large jump. And then the next... Yeah, PSA 7 is the investment grade for $1,275. A PSA 9 will set you back $12,500. And if you look at the pop reports, PSA 6 is, PSA 9, you have pop 6. PSA 8, 71 is the pop. PSA 7, 226. Next, Dan Marino, 1984 Topps. Excellent quarterback. Never won a Super Bowl, but he's been to, I think, multiple Super Bowls. And he finished with 5,000 yards in the season. I think he was the first player to do this, and threw for 48 touchdowns in the season. Threw for almost 5,000 completions with a little bit over 8,000 attempts, 61,000 passing yards, 420 touchdowns. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer now. His PSA 10 will run you back $4,450, but to be honest with you, I would personally buy his PSA BGS 10, to be honest with you. They're probably around $5,000 to $6,000, but it's a lower pop count. And honestly, the PSA 10 is the investment grade, hands down. PSA 9, sort of, but it's really PSA 10. So the PSA 10 is a pop count of 400. The 9 is high, it's 3,835. The highest grade is PSA 7. That's why 7s are only around $65 to $70. Last 9 sold for $271. So, yeah. Next, 1986 Steve Young. It's 1986 Topps, number 374. He's won a Super Bowl with San Francisco. He had one of the highest quarterback ratings ever, 239.1. His quarterback rating was 102.4, which 91 to 98, which is quite ridiculous, especially for the time. He actually won 6 titles, and he was kind of on the bench for a lot of it, though. But he had an excellent career. His PSA 10 is astronomical. They normally sell for 6 figures, $120,000. That's definitely an investment grade. And I guess the PSA 9 would technically be his investment grade. They sell for around $1,200. PSA 10 is just 9 of them. And then 8s and 7s are the high pop, 3,000 each. So yeah, excellent guy. People forget about this dude. Next, he's my favorite, and I think he's in the top 5, if not top 4 all-time greats. Is John Elway. 1984 Topps, John Elway, number 63, PSA 10. He won 2 Super Bowls at the end of his career. He had 9 Pro Bowlers, Hall of Fame in 2004. Yeah, his PSA 10 goes for 6,800, 700. I think his BGS 10 goes for, if I'm correct, probably $8,000. His PSA 10 is 179 pop count, and then his PSA 9 is 2,651. All right, the last one of this whole thing, you guys are gonna like this. It's gonna be Otto Graham. So Otto Graham is a legendary quarterback. He played for the Cleveland Browns from 1946 to 1955. He was an all-league MVP twice in his career. Yeah, I mean, he threw for 23,584 yards, had 174 passing touchdowns and 44 rushing touchdowns. So he was that scrambler quarterback. His big investment grade card would be the PSA 9, $20,700. And so if you really look at it, there's no PSA 10s, there are only 9 PSA 9s, and then there's 8 there's 90 PSA 8s. There is one more person, and it looks like it's Brett Favre's 1991 Stadiums Club. The PSA 10 for him is really interesting. PSA 10 apparently goes for around $4,350. People are paying, I've paid a lot for his cards, but yeah, that's an interesting card to buy for him, but I want to say it's probably more of a $1,000 card now. But there are a few other cards for Brett Favre that I think people should look at or think about. What I would say for Brett Favre is some interesting cards to really look at is his 1991 Classic number 30. The cheapest are probably like $10. 1981 Pacific 5, number 551. PSA value is about $20. And I don't know exactly what the 10s would sell for, but the Upper Deck number 18 for Brett Favre. Also the 91 Brett Favre Action Pack Update number 21. You have the 1991 Wild Card 1000 stripe, and you have the Star Picks and the Stadium Club Super Bowl. I almost forgot just one more card. So the other person I forgot is 1971 Topps Terry Bradshaw. I don't know how I forgot this dude, but you know, his card number is 156, and PSA 10. PSA 10 is definitely an investment grade. I can argue PSA 8. Yeah, so, you know, PSA 9 is also investment grade, but also PSA 8. So you know, PSA 8 is around $2,500. The 9 is $23,000. There's only 3 PSA 10s. Looks like there's only 6 PSA 9s. And when it comes to PSA, no, I got that wrong. It's probably 20. And then it looks like it's about 451 PSA 8s. So that is pretty exciting. It looks like PSA 10s go for $430,000. If you got that kind of bankroll, congratulations. You can pick one up if the person wants to get rid of it. PSA 9s, there's only 33,000, and then the 8 is $3,840. But PSA kind of thinks it should be $2,500. So yeah, I mean, if you want to get it for your collection, PSA 7 is $1,000. PSA 6 is $379. And also what he did in his career. Like, who is Terry Bradshaw? Well, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's a 1-time All-Pro. He has 4 Super Bowl championships, and he has 2 Super Bowl MVPs. So pretty impressive, you ask me. He got the Steelers 4 of their 6 Super Bowls, threw for 51.9% completion and 27,981 passing yards, 212 touchdowns. He threw almost as many interceptions. That's interesting. But yeah, but this is the last card. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want me to talk about in the future.